What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, you've been asking for them, and now we got them. We got the set of pre-made arches to make your layout way easier. So, let's get started.
All right, you guys, again, like Ryan said, you guys have been requesting these because I've used this. This is something that I made like 20 years ago, just 1/2 inch MDF. It's held up really well. Obviously, you can see it's been beat up a little bit, but I've been using this lately on a few videos and people have been asking about this. So we decided to come up and design a set of arches that you guys can use to make your layout easier. Yeah! This really makes it nice, especially for smaller stuff, but as you'll see, also for bigger stuff. So the description is down below, and you can go right over to the website and see all the details on them. And these absolutely will be available on the Black Friday, which is about 10 days from when you see this video.
Really nice.
They'll be available half off on Black Friday as well. So here we go. So we've got 4 different arches here, and these labels are just a rough estimate of what these really were designed for, but they can be used in in a lot of different instances, and we'll go right into that. Okay, so again, this is 12 by 24. This is basically a 12 by 24 board. This is the one that I designed for this, but again, any of the arches could work on here. It is all dependent on what you have to lay out. But let's say you have some 2-inch letters. That's what these are. These are 2-inch Bookman, but let's say you have some 2-inch letters and you want to draw that arch on there, and this is the amount of letters that you have. Then all you would really do is measure up either to that top edge or the bottom edge. That is, I'm doing this rather quickly. I would probably take more time. And you would just draw that arch there. And that makes it nice and simple. You've got that arch. So let's say you've got a smaller sign. Same length, 24 inches, but it's only 5 or 6 inches tall. That's where this arch would come into play. So now we have our 6 by 24 arch, and we've got 1.5 inch letters. So that's where, and you've got, let's say you've got this many letters or something akin to this. That's where one like this. Now if you've got something down here that you want to put in there, a piece of artwork or whatever, you might raise it up. But if it's just going to be there, then what you would do is you would center this on your board and draw your arch accordingly. And I'm just eyeballing this, where normally I would measure, but I'm just eyeballing this for right now. And that gives you a nice line to go by. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, let's go down to a little bit smaller. But remember guys, these arches, what I'm showing you are just examples. It really will be dependent on what you have. And at the end, we're going to wrap this all up and show you how we would use these arches on bigger signs. So here we have 1-inch Bookman letters. So this is a 4 by 18. Again, that's the size of board that we have. And again, I am just kind of eyeballing here. But if you had just one line of 4 by 18 of 1-inch letters, then you could use it and put it somewhere around there and draw your arch. Again, draw your arch and you'd be good to go. Now let's say you wanted to use 2-inch letters on there, but you only had a few of them and there wasn't a bunch of copy, then you could just draw that, just drop it down. That way, by the time your letter is in there, it still is not too low, it's not too high. And you could just put your letters on there. So, it's adjustable based on the copy that you have and what you need to lay out. This would also work if you had little pieces of artwork at both ends. So let's move on to one more size. So this is about the same as that other board, but it's just shorter. Now the reason I picked these sizes, guys, it was arbitrary because these are my standard sizes that I've had, that we've done for years, that Dad and I started with way back in the 70s. 4 by 14, 4 by 18, 6 by 24, 12 by 24. So, but again, I'll show you at the end how all these could be used in different situations. So again, I just kind of eyeballed it, but you know, and you might drop that down or raise it up depending on if you've got something underneath here, or depending on if you need it tighter. If you had a little piece of artwork at both ends, you might bring that down narrower to where the letters were down here. Again, it depends on the copy. So it's all of this stuff is adjustable based on the stuff that you have to use. So let's move on to the next step, and I'll show you how to do arches on a big sign. So now let's say that you don't have these standard sizes that I do. Let's say you've got a big sign, but you still want to be able to use these arches. It can absolutely be done. So let's say the size of the sign is the size of my bench, which is what, 2 foot by 5 foot or something like that, 20 inches by 5 foot long. This arch will still work. You could just extend it out and be able to extend it out, but again, it will depend on what you have going on the sign. Let's say you've got a 6-inch letter, and you know you've got just this amount of copy here, and you're doing some things up in the corner. You could drop this down and again extend it out. But let's say you've got a lot of these letters, so then you wouldn't use that one. You would use something that would have more of a gradual arch like this, so that when you extend this out, then it would follow that. But it depends on what your copy is, what you've got going on the ends or in the corners. If you've got, let's say for instance, you've got a logo here, and these are 2-inch letters, but you might have 3-inch letters or whatever. You've got a big logo here, and you want copy that goes this way, but they also want copy that goes this way, like we did the Jack Carr sign, which will have a link to that at the end. So you could draw your arch there and then turn it around and then draw your arch here, so then you could have letters going this way, and they would all be nice and consistent and concise. But you could do that with big letters as well. So, and then again, the same rule applies. You could extend these out. All right, guys, so that's kind of it. I know there's probably going to be a lot of questions here, so leave us comments. The other thing is that we went ahead and drilled a hole in there so you can hang them up on a nail. We made these out of 1/4-inch birch, so they're nice and stiff. These things are really sturdy, whereas our normal letters are 1/8-inch birch. But I wanted them to be able to last, and these things are nice and sturdy. You're probably not going to break these things. So remember that these will be available on the Black Friday sale. So go check out the link in the description below. Whatever that price is, then it'll be half off during Black Friday. Leave us comments below, or email me, eric@makeawoodssign.com, if I can answer any questions for you. I'm sure there will be questions that we didn't get answered here. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We love you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.